Rocking and rolling.
And we're live.
Hi.
Hey, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what'd you say your look was?
I think it's called Riviera Continental,
Yeah.
like the French Riviera
Yeah, I can see that.
or the Italian Amalfi Coast.
Like Club Monaco,
Yeah. Feel like I'm,
like George Clooney,
sure.
walking in on to like the, what do you call it?
Mr. Clooney, sure.
Yeah. Where does he live? Did I say Monaco?
Monaco.
No, he doesn't live there. He lived in,
Santorini.
no, he doesn't live there. He
Venice.
lives, no.
Is it in Italy?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. What is it? Is it
Sorrento.
Is it Monte Carlo?
Monte Carlo.
It might be Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo. Is that a place in Italy? I'm sure it is.
Okay, maybe the internet knows.
Sure, they do.
Okay,
Everybody
tell
knows.
us where he lives.
Internet, tell us where George Clooney lives. And while you're at it, just tell him his portrayal of Batman was something.
What's your favorite? Everybody. I'm gonna get my phone out of the
No,
way.
it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
can't win them all.
Yeah. I want to see the one with Heath Ledger. I've never seen it.
You've never seen
No.
that one?
Like,
He's the Joker?
Kind of scared me a little bit because he's so intense and he died.
Stay out of Gotham.
Maybe I'll check it
Yeah,
out.
I mean, it's like, what is it, Dr. Parnassus? That was his last movie, and they actually had to get Jude Law.
Oh,
I think,
really?
to
Finish it?
come in and finish it as like
Yeah.
an alternate.
I didn't know that.
Wild.
They released it?
Oh, yeah, it's a great movie.
Oh.
Oh.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, well, if you can't figure out what movie to watch, if you're having trouble, picking something,
Yeah.
just pick something.
That.
Pick something,
Well, I will.
right?
pick something.
Because having that analysis paralysis
Boom. I like it. And it's going
Is-
into the segue. Really good job, man.
is
That's why they pay the big bucks. Oh, by the way, hey, congratulations, Sharon and Tony.
Sharon and Tony just closed today. Woo!
On their second investment property.
Awesome. So proud of you guys.
Nice job, you guys. We're
Way
really
to
happy for
go.
you. Yeah, they live out of state and they purchased here in the DFW area,
In our market area.
in our market area. It was really, really great, really exciting deal. It's brand new construction, which is pretty rare, and you don't get that all the time.
No, you don't.
No, you
Especially,
don't.
people that definitely are a slave to the numbers.
Yeah.
If the numbers don't work, you can't move forward.
Right, and the builder themselves won't even sell to investors when the market's hot.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that happen like after the Great Recession, and a lot of builders they would sell to investors during the Great Recession. I would say really any time before about 2014 because they
Okay.
weren't selling homes.
Okay.
But then it's like a light switch came on January of 2014, and then the market came out of the Great Recession basically, and buyers were back in play, and then it was just really hard for investors to get new construction because the builders wanted to sell it to homeowners.
Yeah, I want to sell it to home buyers.
Understandably.
I mean, shoot, we've been saying that for years now.
Yeah.
They finally,
That was 10 years ago. It's now
but only
2024.
really one builder that I know of
Yeah.
that has gone back to allowing
Yeah.
investors.
It's a really rare window
Mm-hmm.
of time. And the reality is people don't realize that. We know that because we're in the business all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to express that that's just the truth. And I'm sure it's different for different markets all across this glorious landscape that we call America. However, I know in our market, it's very rare,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we're really excited about that. So big shout out to Sharon and Tony. Congratulations, friends.
The numbers worked.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. And thank you for trusting us.
Yeah.
Now we got to get that puppy leased out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's part of being an investor is that job's never done,
Yeah.
right? Like a lot of people think that once I get this property, it's just mailbox money. It's like
Yeah.
no,
Not on the first part.
oh,
Uh-oh.
just making sure. Oh, it's the inspector.
It is?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's take it.
Okay.
Let's take the call.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, Michael.
Oh, yes. I'm calling you about
Correct.
Termite inspection.
The latest is Arrow said they're closed Monday, but a couple of days later they have an opening.
Okay.
At this point, I'm butting out because you are the one who knows the option period and who can go when, blah blah blah. So if their proposal, which is Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever.
So we have until Saturday.
Huh?
We have until Saturday
Okay.
to get all the inspections done.
What I'm saying is that they have a super key. They can get in by themselves.
Oh, okay, wonderful. Yeah, there is a Supra.
Basically, either you as the representative or the buyers need to reply to this and say, yeah, that's good.
Okay. Will do as soon as I can.
And they're gonna need a showing time appointment for that date and time.
Okay. And they're able to schedule that, correct? Or do I have to schedule it for them?
No, you don't. See, the only reason I'm telling you is because the buyers may not be familiar with this procedure.
Okay. I'll explain it to them.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know so that you'll be aware of this to help them if they need help.
Oh, perfect.
They should say yes. They're probably gonna call you. I figured they were gonna call you and ask you, is it okay if they go 2 days later? And you tell them, yeah, it's okay. They can get in by themselves. But either that's probably you. We need to make them an appointment with showing time for whenever it is that they can go.
Okay. Not a problem. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, I figured that I talked to the buyer this morning. I told them to call me so I can explain to them how the whole thing is going to work so they can be warm and fuzzy. And they did call me and we talked. But I figured they would be calling you.
Okay.
Items of what to do. So I'm just bringing you up to date.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. Inspection happening Monday. Termite inspection
Okay.
Wednesday.
Got moved.
Got moved.
It happens.
It happens, yes. Sorry about that. But
We're working.
you know,
We're always on call.
Always on call.
Just as what is
And I don't want to deny a friend and a vendor the chance to speak with me.
Oh my
Anyways,
god. Okay, so
I'm really not that full of myself.
No, he's really not.
But yeah,
It's probably because of your Club Monaco look.
Oh, I know. I feel so confident.
I know.
Get out of here.
And I'm sailing this
The fit
afternoon.
check.
Yeah.
She's from Nantucket.
Yeah.
I'm from.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go down to
I don't know. French
the
Riviera?
Bahama later
Bahama.
and get on my boat.
Some of the
Wish.
best ice cream I've ever had
Yeah.
was in Cape Cod.
Really?
Yeah. It was this coconut non-dairy ice cream.
Yum.
It was like, I don't know, if you could make that,
Mm-hmm.
you can make a lot of money. That's how I think about it. It's
Okay.
just so good. It was so good.
Wow.
I think about it constantly.
I wonder if they use. Did you know there's something called coconut cream sweet condensed milk?
Oh yeah, I use that for my Vietnamese coffee
Mm.
instead of condensed milk because I can't do dairy.
Mm-hmm.
I do sweetened condensed coconut milk.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
It's really good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It blow your mind.
So also, the same your family just closed on another rental property.
We closed in the same neighborhood
same
as
neighborhood.
Tony and Sharon
Yeah. Last week.
last week. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah. Isn't that cool?
Getting ready for hopefully getting a renter in there soon.
Yeah. Yep. It's listed and we helped another buyer buy 2 in that same neighborhood in February 28th.
One in that neighborhood. And
Oh,
then
that's right. That's right.
One in the other
Yeah,
neighborhood.
That's right. So we had 3 in that one neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we get that question of like, is it going to be too many rentals in the neighborhood? Oh my God, could be. But you got to look at the supply and demand of. Well, first of all, we're in a housing shortage right now, so
Mhm.
honestly,
And at the same time, we
it's
did
fine.
get an explanation from Lennar when we were asking,
Mhm.
can an investor buy a property? And
Yeah.
it's like it's case by case basis.
Case by case.
So
Yeah, they don't want to fill the
if they
neighborhood
don't want
up
to fill
with
the neighborhood up,
investors.
that's their
Yeah.
choice. If they
Yeah.
if they're okay with it, they're in charge of.
Yeah.
They're in charge of everything.
Yeah, they really are. So they keep
Um,
an eye on that too. Because they don't, it's just, you want homeowners in a neighborhood, new construction. It's
want
just kind of what
stability.
builders want. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
stability, and
Yeah.
that's people
That's
that
right.
bought the house and are going to stay there for more than a lease period.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's important that
Yeah.
people that want to buy in an area, you don't want to see everybody moving out every year.
No, you don't.
Every 6 months.
No, you don't. And the builder, like sometimes they're in the neighborhood a long time and they want home ownership. The builders are in the business of building homes for home ownership. They're not really in the business of building homes for investors. However, we are seeing neighborhoods go up that are called,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
what's it called?
Um,
Rental?
it's like the one in Fort Worth.
Mm,
So they're starting basically it's a community of single family homes that they're renting out the entirety of the community
Yeah.
as opposed to an apartment complex.
right.
Where it's just a single unit.
Right.
You're in a 3-2, a 4-2 half house.
Like a house.
Yeah. Single family, detached from
Right.
everybody else,
Right.
house. And the whole community is all renters.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was a mover in that area, I would be banking.
That's a good I never thought about that.
I mean, people are going to be moving
Yeah.
in and out all the time.
Yeah.
I hope their lanes and their roads are wide enough
It's a bit of moving.
to fit all the moving trucks that'll be in and out of
That's
that
true,
place.
man. You're right. People are going to move.
And it's like, is it going to be like a summer season? Right?
Yeah.
It's like where everybody's moving out and everybody's moving in.
Maybe so.
So you're going to have a traffic jam for
Yeah.
during the summer so kids can go to school and parents can move without, not having to worry about
Yeah.
who's going to break my stuff this year.
Yeah. You
I-
always, every time you move, I,
I
feel
feel
like
like
you always have something.
every
like
No matter what.
guaranteed.
Every single time
Yeah.
that I've had, no matter who the moving company is,
Mhm.
and I'm not naming any names because I don't have any names for you, but I can say with full confidence that
Yeah.
every single client I've had that has moved,
Yeah.
something has broken.
Yeah.
So just, be okay with it.
I mean, if you
If-
have antiques, which
If you have something that is super important, maybe you just handle it yourself.
handle it yourself or get it. Just
But
try to really pay attention to that.
yeah,
But other than
that was a tangent we just kind of went off on.
Yeah.
But coming back to, the analysis paralysis,
Yeah.
like what you say all the time, put it in very good perspective for me when I started in real estate
Yeah.
and investing was time value of money.
Time value of money.
Right.
Yeah. Hmm.
Your explanation of that is super simple,
Mm-hmm.
but just very effective.
Really?
I think so.
Did it go something like this? You can't ever get your time back, but you can get your money back. Yeah, because
People, you don't want to. People are worried about their savings depleting, right? But is that savings doing anything for you, or is it just losing money,
Yeah.
depreciating every year?
it is depreciating. Usually, now because mortgage interest rates are high,
Mhm.
that pushes interest rates up for savings account and CDs. So it's like 5%, 4.5%.
Yeah, I've seen those
However, you're probably still losing inflation.
because inflation's close to 7%.
Yeah, and there's reports all over the board because the government is saying it's 3 to 4%.
I don't believe it.
I don't either. I heard in a class I was just in that they said triple it. They said if the government says 3, it's 9. If the government says 4, it's 12.
Jeez.
But I mean, and we have literally
that's a lot.
$10.99 eggs.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
In Dallas, we're not in New York City. This is Dallas.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to get into it.
Let's not get into that, but I
could.
I think everybody
definitely
feels
could
it.
go
We
on.
all feel it.
Yeah, everybody feels
I mean,
it.
we're all feeling $8 raspberries. We're all feeling $10 eggs. We're all feeling
This is like,
you know,
this is like shopping back in early 2000s at Whole Foods
yeah, exactly. In a normal
or
Kroger.
Central Market.
Yeah, you're right.
And
Yeah.
you've got a Central Market taste on a Walmart budget.
Yeah,
But I'm not knocking Walmart. They got some good stuff.
yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
They fill a need.
Yeah, everybody feels a need.
Yeah,
It's just taking advantage of people is what I don't like.
Yeah.
And I feel like some people are getting taken advantage of in this.
Yeah, but you know
economy.
what? Part of what we do is like, and you and I have this debate all the time.
Mm-hmm.
We like to healthily debate
Mm-hmm.
because we have different perspectives.
We do.
We really do in a lot of things. Some things we really agree on, and some things we don't. But it doesn't matter because we respect each other.
You
and
have
we,
to
and
have
we
that.
trust each other.
You have to have the discourse to get
Yeah.
further.
Mhm. Yeah.
Can't live in a bubble forever.
Right. And it's just,
You'll run out of oxygen.
I mean, I guess you would.
It's like a bubble boy.
Did you ever see that movie?
Oh, I loved it.
I know.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
I didn't know he was in that movie from the
Yeah.
80s
Oh, Bubble Boy from the
or the 90s.
I think it's early 2000s.
Oh,
I know it had to do with like the I think it was the ska era.
did he have to live in the bubble because he had a lot of diseases?
No, his mom was a what do they call that?
Hypochondriac,
No,
Munchausen's disease.
Munchausen's
Okay,
disease, where
okay.
she told
Wanted
him he
to
was
keep him
sick. Yeah.
Okay.
But basically, he had grown up his entire life in a bubble because his
Wow.
mom was so protective.
Wow.
And then finally, he met somebody that brought him out of his shell.
He lived in a literal bubble
Yeah, plastic bubble.
in the backyard.
I mean, in his house, in his room.
Why would he have bubble in his room? Why would
Well,
he
his
just have
room
a
was a bubble.
Oh.
His house was a bubble. But if he had to go outside,
Mm-hmm.
he had to go be in a bubble. That's why he was the bubble boy.
He moved in it?
Yeah, he moved around in it.
How
Walked
would he-
around.
Huh.
Basically, it was like so he had he had a ball that was like that had his like little appendages, like a suit. It was like a suit, but with like the whole thing was a bubble,
Okay.
minus like the arms and legs and the head.
Mm.
Or maybe the head was. Or maybe we have to look this up.
Okay, check it out.
Oh my gosh, are we really doing this?
Well,
Yeah,
I
we're
think
doing
there's
this.
a metaphor going on in the world today. People are living in bubbles.
Oh, totally.
And it's sad. This Google image here. Oh, I see it. His
Yeah,
whole
see?
Yeah.
So he lived in a bubble.
Wow, that's sad, man.
But you know what?
Hmm.
It was a happy ending.
So let's circle back. Living in a bubble is kind of like analysis paralysis.
Yeah. You're not getting all the information.
And you're like
You're not
scared
getting-
of everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're being protected from yourself in a way. Like, think about all the things he lost living in that bubble. Social interactions,
Childhood.
childhood,
Like normal childhood.
like just learn how to overcome things like we all do.
Learning how to live your life inside of, or being hermetically sealed. And that's, it's not a way to live.
No,
He
it's
didn't.
not a way
He
to
didn't.
live.
He wasn't able to build immunities,
Yeah, exactly.
but he did. He had them. He had
Oh,
immunities,
somehow.
and that freaked people out because they didn't know what that was.
Oh,
They're like, he's got immunities. It's like, wait, that's a good thing.
yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, it's just public education
Well, I think that people
not working for
in
a lot of
analysis paralysis, like you don't want to move forward because you're scared. Fear's a big part of it.
people. Yeah,
wouldn't
you don't.
say?
I mean, everybody's scared of the unknown,
Mm-hmm.
and
But the future is always unknown.
well, no, I think a lot of the issue is that the losing the money.
Mm.
It's because money for most people is comforting,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because what can you not do really if you don't have money?
Yeah.
Live,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
As much as you want to say it's like money can't buy you happiness. It's like, well, it can really make things comfortable.
Yeah.
And having a future is a lot better than not having a future as far as I'm concerned with investments.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, thinking about what am I going to do when I'm 60? What am I going to do when I'm 50? I just turned 40 and I'm my focus strangely has gone to survival as I get older, being comfortable as I get older. So how can I make my my money work for me? And that I think 100% of every person that has a retirement that is some sufficient for their retirement, like their goals.
Mm-hmm.
I can almost guarantee that they have real estate in their portfolio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the sooner the better, I would say. It's like regardless of the market, they say what good time to buy. It's like if you are capable, any time's a good time to buy.
Yeah.
Because the cycle of real estate is cyclical, up and down, up and down. But the trajectory is always on a ascending,
Up and to the right.
up
for
and to the
sure.
right.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
how many times have we seen it?
Yeah, I just ran my mom's and dad's, all the properties that they've owned in their life.
Oh my,
I mean, there were 5.
yeah.
4 they bought, 1 they got when my grandparents died, that my mom got their house. And then 2 they went under contract for, but they never closed on.
Okay.
2 were the investment properties that they bought in 2003 that actually got my career started.
Oh,
Okay. And
thanks,
so,
Linda.
so I said, okay, what did they pay
Mm-hmm.
and what are they worth
Okay, now.
and then what expenses did I estimate there would have been if they
Man,
kept them
that's
as rentals?
That's a lot of work.
I do like to make
Hey,
spreadsheets.
this is your thing.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love pro formas.
I bet. See, there's your hyper focus. I'm hyper focused on random stuff.
Yeah. That's
You're
right.
hyper focused on things that are actually, good for your career to like be hyper focused on.
Well,
I'm talking about making TikTok videos.
well, I mean,
Hey,
it all flows to the
hopefully
same
it
river.
will work.
It will work.
Because I've got a TikTok starting for my business.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get that going.
exactly.
You're gonna see all the houses from the inside.
It's going to
maybe.
be wonderful.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably be mediocre at it, but it'll be fun.
Well, fun's our number one goal.
I have tons of fun.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of
You've
fun.
helped me have a lot more fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Just
It's
being
really
around me is
important.
fun.
True. I mean, you were Michael, our inspector, was lucky enough to get to talk to you.
True.
So
Just saying.
you're a pretty big deal.
Stop.
You have that going for you.
Stop. Stop. Keep going.
Okay. Okay. So
I'm just kidding.
I
Stop.
I think that I forgot what I was talking about. That's
Yeah,
what I
that'll
think.
happen. Well,
Hmm.
yeah, me too. Rocky.
Rocky, what were we
Appreciate
talking
that.
about, Rocky?
um,
Rocky, speak. What were we talking about?
Rocky, were we talking about?
Were we talking about going on a ride?
Oh
Were we talking
my.
about going in the car?
Oh, don't tease him like that.
Were we talking about getting a treat?
No, we were talking about investment properties
Okay.
and the timing of said purchases of well, I mean, I guess it's kind of like a segue to it. Oh, sure, I got you. And here we go.
Oh,
That's
Whoopsies.
how we do it.
whoopsies. Okay, we were talking about. Oh, my mom's.
Oh, your mom's.
Okay,
yeah.
it
Your mom's
was
investment properties.
About they're worth. I mean, the money they made on selling them, right? Okay, if you added up the value that they paid,
Mm-hmm.
it would be about $1 million.
Okay.
Okay, for all 10 properties.
That's how much they paid for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
Expenses?
I mean, I estimated like when and if they sold 8% to sell,
Okay.
6% realtor commissions, plus 1% title, plus 1% random.
Okay.
And then I added in some like estimated repairs. Each house had different ones. Like
Yeah.
one of them had foundation, one of them had, whatever, based on their age of construction. And then the values now, because the last house they bought was 20 years ago, right?
Hmm.
So almost 19 years ago. So these mortgages would almost always be paid off,
Yeah.
right?
20 years almost.
And then the ones before that would be older.
Yeah.
Okay. So if they kept them all, they'd be worth about $3 million today.
There you go.
Now, it's not net.
Yeah.
Let's assume
It's
all
a
those
lot of
expenses.
assumptions.
Let's assume all that stuff added up to $1 million. So if the value is worth $3 million gross, but they sold it and actually got, the equivalent
1.3.
1 million. Let's say $1 million in expenses. Let's say net walk.
$1 million in expenses.
I'm being extra conservative
That's-
because I am.
That's super conservative. You still make $1
Well.
million according to your math.
Yeah, you'd still make $1 million more keeping them. You know, let's assume you're going to have vacancy, you're going to
Yeah.
have leasing. I'm assuming all that stuff.
All
Like,
the bad
like,
stuff.
Yeah, let's assume your tenant skips and
Conservativeness.
trashes you.
Yeah, just
You're
being conservative on the on
like,
the-
you know, I just dropped like 20 grand on a renovation, you know?
Yeah.
Let's assume they did that 5 times. That's 100 grand, you know?
Oh my.
So I'm just seeing $1 million
Okay.
vacancy, repairs, things that went wrong, things that went really wrong, cost to sell, taxes paid on capital gains.
Okay.
I'm assuming all that. Let's call that $1 million, which is very conservative. But let's say their portfolio is $1 million more than it would have been. So all I'm trying to say is this analysis. We're going to get to analysis process. I promise. Think we're getting there. But the thing is, Ian,
What, Heather?
people get so caught up on all these little things, right? Like cash flow. Your cash flow is your damn job.
Yeah.
You don't need your rental property to make you cash flow until you need your rental property to make you cash flow. Do you know what I'm
That
saying?
makes sense.
Does that make sense?
It does.
And we know time value of money, and we know the key to getting ahead is getting started is the most
true.
important thing, right? And
First step.
as long as you're willing and able, we have to qualify that, right? Because we know people that want to get started that can't. We're not talking to them. Remember, we know that.
Yeah.
We know that.
They need to know that it's just not the right time.
Yeah.
And we'll let them know when the right time is.
Yeah, we will.
But there's people that are, able to
Able and willing.
and willing
Yeah.
currently,
Yeah.
and they
And
are
now it's time for them to go.
time for them to go when people aren't. It's like when people are running
Yeah.
away from something, you're running towards it.
Exactly. You got to really shift your mind.
Yeah.
You are in a new. Honestly, they say it's lonely at the top. Not that owning a few rental properties means you're at the top, but just that one.
Just one.
Little. How many of our friends own rental properties?
Not many. Not many of my
Yeah.
friends.
Not many of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like you're the only other friend that I have.
Yeah.
Like,
And you're like, other than our clients,
yes.
some of our clients have become our friends.
But in our circle, you and I, Tin doesn't have a rental.
Mm-mm.
Ty doesn't have a rental.
Mm-mm.
Julio Christian doesn't have a rental.
Nate.
Nate doesn't have a rental. Collins and JJ don't have a rental.
Mm-mm. And
Um,
my friends, the one church friend that I did have that had a rental, we're selling it.
yeah. So, you're even
He's
with
getting out of the business.
Just to say, it's like
Yeah.
even with one property, you are doing very well.
Yeah, you're doing very well
But
with
you just
one
got to keep
property.
it. You got to keep that. You got to keep the movement forward. You got to.
It would be best
don't
if you
stop
kept
at
growing.
one.
Yeah, and you don't need 100 either.
No.
We think about 4 to 5
4
is
to
a
5.
good number, up to 10, but that's a lot. To be honest, a lot. That's 10 mortgages, 10 HOAs probably, 10 different. You would have,
Property management companies.
you could have 10,
different
but probably wouldn't.
municipalities. You most likely are going to be similar areas.
Yeah.
Like, because you don't want to spread it across.
But you could have a couple different
Yeah,
property managers.
definitely.
If you're like super north Dallas and super south, like that might be 2, 3, whatever. It's a lot. I don't think people understand. That's 10 different tenants, possibly moving in and out at 10 different times in the year.
Mm-hmm.
That could be 3 or 4 properties vacant at the same time.
That is a full-time job.
It's
there.
a lot. I did it, and it was a lot, and that's why I scaled it back because I thought 10 was the answer, Ian. That's why I built it to 10. I was like, okay, I think 10 properties in 10 years is the goal, and that's exactly what I did. 10 properties in 10 years, 8 single family / condo / townhome plus 2 apartment buildings. So 10 individual addresses, if you will, multiple doors, but 10 different addresses.
A lot of doors.
A lot of doors. But nonetheless, I
That's good.
realized there was too much, so then I scaled it back.
Okay.
And
So what are you at now?
now it's 4 rentals
Okay.
and 2 apartment buildings.
It's not bad.
Not bad. Better than a stick in the eye. And when I look at my friends, this is just anecdotal, but when I look at my friends and I say, what do they have? They don't have what I have, net worth wise. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I know it works, because if I have similar friends that had, they started investing, let's say in the stock market or their 401k or whatever, about the same time I did
Okay.
in 2006, right? That was my first rental investment. Let's say they started that. We were all about 27,
That's That's awesome.
then why don't they have what I have?
That's the thing. It's like we're not educated to know, hey, let's make money. Like, people
Yeah.
don't learn how to manage money, how to spend their money,
No.
how to save their money,
Right.
unless your parents. But most of the time, parents don't know how to do that.
A lot of times they don't.
So you got to go out on your own, and,
Yeah.
and then you fall forward and you make mistakes, and you
yeah. You could just keep going.
just got to keep going, because if you let
Yeah.
life's never fair.
No, it's not. And
you make it. You make.
Yeah. There's
You make what
opportunity. You can find opportunity anywhere.
Yeah, you
really
can.
can. Or you can be the victim and you can be like, this, woe is me.
Mhm.
This is whatever. Like, I don't like that. I did subscribe to that ideology a little bit. I got caught. You know that. You met me in that period of my life a little bit. But I think it's a bunch of bullshit, because it just kills your dreams and it holds you back, and it makes you have this scarcity mind that thinks you're like shrouded with these parameters. And it's just a bold-faced lie. Like, you can find opportunity in anything and you just move forward.
Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of the times it's like, what that first step might be is the hardest thing, right? They say the first step's the hardest.
Yeah.
Well, then once you get past that, you can always stop. You don't have to go through with it.
Right.
That's the thing. It's like, people think
Yeah.
it's like, well, once I do this, it's like, I can't stop. It's like,
Yeah.
you can. If you say you purchase
You
one
could.
and it doesn't work out,
No problem.
and you're not
Sell
liking
it. Move on.
Sell it, move on.
Yeah.
Put your money back into a CD.
It's no problem.
Or put it into a Roth IRA.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
put it into some other financial vehicle that will,
Yeah.
move forward, as
Yeah.
opposed to just sticking it into your bank account or your savings account, and then just sits there at 0.02%.
Exactly.
It's a mentality, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people have it, some people don't. Some people have to learn to get it.
Yeah.
And much as you want to read and watch YouTube videos or however you get your information, and Chat GPT even, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
Chat GPT, when's the best time to buy a rental property?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to give you 2 pages of hey, this is how you should think about it. It's like, but ultimately, what is the answer? You got to just say, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. You have to commit.
You have to commit. Like, it is. It's like,
Yeah.
jumping in the deep end and you're not sure what's on, the waters.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see what's beneath the water.
Mm-hmm. You might feel that way, But I always go back to, like, if you just hire a good realtor, and, I think it might be inauthentic maybe to some of our viewers hearing that from someone that is a realtor. But the reality is, we work for free in a way, and we're motivated, obviously for you to close, because that's when we get compensated. But most good realtors that have been in business a long time, like, we play the long game, right, Ian?
It's a relationship game.
I mean, it's not about
not a
selling.
sale.
It's
It's
just
not about a
we
sale.
use our knowledge to help you achieve your goal. And when you show up to us, it's our job to qualify you, to make sure you're even able and willing to do the goal. Sometimes you're not.
And we'll let you know.
And we will let you know, and a lot of really good realtors will, because
That's professional.
honestly, it's professionalism. And honestly, why would we want to work with someone that can't actually perform, right? It's like this self, what do you call it? Something prophecy, something prophecy.
Self-fulfilling?
Self-fulfilling prophecy, where you're probably not going to be sold to if you have a good leader, because you're not able and willing. One of the two things aren't there. And a good leader wouldn't work with you because you would never be able to close. So you can't get taken advantage of, sort of. It's kind of a fallacy. Anyway.
Well, I mean, as much as you have this mentality of like, oh, what should I do? Should I do this?
Yeah. How do I get started?
Like, people don't see this. Like, I think I said it last week or last time we did this. Is like, people don't see your failures, right?
Yeah.
Every single thing you see online or in videos or YouTube about these people, like, oh, you do this, I can do this.
Yeah.
or I did this, you can do this,
Yeah.
and like all you hear, you know, just subscribe to my coaching,
Yeah.
right? And you know, I'm not trying to sell you anything.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to tell you, it's like, you know, find good people,
Yeah.
find those people that you know you like to do business with,
Yeah.
you know, find those people that have done it before.
Yeah.
You know, it's about finding people that have experience, because obviously researching, you can Google anything
Yeah. You can.
or Bing it, however you want to do it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can ask ChatGPT, hey, you know, tell me how to do this step by step. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you have the ability.
Yeah. And on our last video, we gave a good resource called NARPM, National Association of Residential Property Managers.org, NARPM.org. And if you go there, you're going to find
Resources. Oh my gosh.
totally in your specialty. If you want to do rental property investing, that is a great place to start, because all those people are property managers, residential property managers. And that means that is the only business they're in. Well, let's just hop right into the question.
Okay.
Okay. You want to read it?
No.
Okay.
I will if you want me to.
No, it's okay. I'll read it.
You sound better when you read.
You think so?
I can't read.
You can read.
I'm illiterate.
No, you're not.
It's not
Okay.
true. It's not true.
This question comes from Reddit, Ian.
From Reddit? Okay. Lay it on me slick.
This is from Unvers J. Unvers J?
I think it's Universe J.
Okay.
Yeah.
Universe J.
Universe J.
Okay. This is from Universe J. I gotta get comfortable.
Yeah, get comfy.
Okay. Okay. This is a little long, but
Bring it on.
we're really good in long form. Okay. Analysis paralysis so bad I'm surprised I could move my fingers enough to write this. Isn't that funny? That's this title. Okay, I'm looking to purchase my first investment property. However, I'm having trouble deciding where to invest. Analysis paralysis is the real deal. One area that I'm looking at is in Bozeman, Montana, where I live, which is the fastest growing micro population in the U.S. for the last 3 years. By the way, this was from 4 years ago. And will soon cross over in the metropolitan status soon. Home values are pretty high, and the best COC, or cash on cash figure, I've been able to find is about 2 to 3%. I assume he means 2 to 3% per month, or maybe year, it doesn't matter. Okay, but appreciation rates have been incredible over the last decade, conservatively, 6 to 8% depending on the year. And I see no signs of it slowing down, even in a pandemic. I would be able to manage the property myself here and wouldn't be making a lot of cash flow. But wouldn't be making a lot of cash flow. The other areas I'm looking at are in Wyoming, similar towns, 15,000 to 20,000, with much lower population growth. But also feels like Bozeman, before Bozeman was discovered by the rest of the country.
That's what happens.
I know. Very speculative, I know. Home values are much lower than Bozeman, so I'm able to find cash-on-cash returns in the neighborhoods of 8 to 9%, which is awesome.
That's great.
Price to rent ratios are not significantly better than Bozeman, but in Wyoming, property taxes are very low, allowing for a decent cash-on-cash return. Here's where I'm at. Bozeman purchase price $325,000 to $350,000. Rent $1,800 to $2,000 a month. Pretty similar to our market, sort of. Appreciation high, self-managed. Wyoming purchase price $190,000 to $225,000. Rent $1,300 to $1,500. Appreciation medium to low, in line with inflation or slightly better. Property manager would be needed if you went out of his market area in Bozeman, but property taxes are very low. So, looking for input to helpfully shake off this crippling analysis paralysis. We are in a financial position where we can take some risk, but everything I read says don't invest for appreciation. Consider it the cherry on top. It just seems to me that out of the 4 wealth creators of real estate, appreciation is where real wealth is created and not the $200 a month cash flow. Wow. He's on to something.
I mean, that's kind of, what do they call it? My vocab.
Okay, sounds like...
I mean, you can edit this out.
I don't know how to edit.
Oh, well, This is just the unfiltered truth.
Okay.
Insightful.
Okay.
That little end.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's like I kind of equate it to like a child.
Yeah.
Child is very honest, right?
Yeah.
The most unfiltered view of the world is through a kid.
It's true.
I mean, it might be young, it might be old, and it's 4 years ago. He might be a little smarter now. Maybe he
Yeah.
does have a property or
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
Maybe we can follow up with him and be like, hey,
Yeah.
how did your journey go, Universe J?
Yeah, I like that, Ian.
Let
I
us
hope
know.
he did execute. Let's do
but
that.
yeah, at the same time, you know, it's insightful that he sees
Yeah.
the big picture. A lot of people don't see the big picture.
Yeah, they don't.
A lot of people, they only look at the short term, right?
Yeah.
If you look at Burr strategy, if you look at,
yeah.
you know, just trying to do flips, it's like this short term, like, I need to make money right now, you know, and you burn yourself out or have the potential to burn yourself out. I think a good way to start out is crawl before you walk.
Me too.
Don't
Me too.
reinvent the wheel. All these cliche sayings
Oh my
that
God, I know, but they're so true.
they are true.
They're true. They're cliches, but they're dang true.
And just, you know, start with something.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you start with something, you can learn a lot about yourself. You can learn a lot about just, you know, what you're doing.
Yeah.
If you want to pivot, if you want to change, you know, you got to start somewhere. You can do all the reading. You know, you can practice like it's golf. You can practice your golf swing
Oh my God.
constantly and hit such great shots, right? But until you're actually in it and doing it, you won't know how good your shot's going to be.
Wow.
But you got to take a shot, right?
Yeah. Or if you just read a bunch of golf books,
And then you're like, I'm an expert in golf.
that would be ridiculous.
And then you shoot, you know, 20 over.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got some things you need to learn, which is practical experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
Being on the course,
Yeah.
being in the game, having that pressure on you.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, pressure does make diamonds. Look it up. No, it's you gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta make a move.
You gotta move. You gotta take action.
Analysis paralysis. You can, you know, what is the internet going to be able to tell you about your own analysis paralysis? You're gonna get a bunch of people saying just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Then like, you know,
Yeah, or you're gonna get a bunch of people, which
don't even try it.
don't
It's
even
not worth
try
it.
Why would you want to do that? Or, have you considered? Did you read this book yet? Did you run this report
They're
yet?
just going to keep that.
Did you sign up for this?
Keep that
community
information.
yet?
It's going to just.
Have you analyzed all the forums?
Mhm. Have you read every single blog post in Bigger Pockets?
I mean, are you ready?
Have you
Are
checked?
Sure?
Have you gone to every single town hall meeting in that area that you're considering buying?
Yeah.
Have you gone to see the board of what is it, Chamber of Commerce?
Which nobody does
have
any
you
of that.
have you
by
ever
the
talked to the HOA board of a potential community that you want to put your house in? No,
way? No, you haven't.
no, you're gonna learn.
But it doesn't matter.
As long as you keep an open mind
Yeah.
and you be proactive,
Yeah.
not reactive, because I don't know if people know the difference between the two, but being able to head off an issue on the front end will save you so much money on the back end. And
Yeah.
it's so many things.
Yeah, and I think the mindset that Universe J has here is like to your point, you know, he sees the bigger picture, and it's
Yeah.
like he gets cash flow.
Cash flow's great,
good, but he has a job probably, and he's getting cash flow from his job, so he doesn't need cash flow from the rental property.
Well, that's what we say is like breaking even is sexy.
I mean, in a perfect world,
Yeah,
we want
positive.
8, 9, 10, 20, 30% cash flow. Of course.
Who wouldn't want the unicorn?
The reality is that just doesn't really happen anymore.
No.
I mean, I think it really did used to, but I think that before the internet, the only way to buy investment property, Ian, was like you had to be part of the good old boys club or connected to the local banks that knew about properties that needed to move, that could be good rentals, or you had to know somebody that knew someone, or it was just a really off-market thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think
It just was.
every single day that keeps coming, you're in the best market we've ever had
Yeah.
to buy and sell real estate.
That's
as a
right.
person that has never
Yeah.
done it before.
Yeah.
There's the information that is available to you, you know, regardless of market trends or all these things that, you know, people want to scare you or hype you up with.
Right.
You know, it boils down to getting that first one.
Right.
However you do it, just do it. Right.
Yeah.
But make sure you're first off able.
Mm-hmm.
That'll make you willing.
Financially able.
Financially
And
able.
we define that by saying you have obviously the down payment, the closing costs, a reserve account. We like to see what we call a reserve account, which is an additional 6 months of expenses for the property set aside.
Mm-hmm.
We'd love to see that number worked up to a year, or you need to have access to it. And then if you don't have a reserve account, we still don't want you to like wipe the account bone dry.
Yeah.
So maybe there's another strategy. Maybe the strategy shifts to the move up strategy, where you're not buying a rental property with 20, 25, 30, 40% down.
You're doing as low as 3% with a conventional financing.
Maybe, and you live in it, right?
Live in it for a year.
Yeah.
That's to make it a primary residence,
Mm-hmm.
right? To able to buy another primary residence.
Yeah.
Most, I think, I'm not sure if it's still a year, but
I think it's a year.
So you have to own the property and live in it as a primary for 1 year. And
1
then
year. Then you can
next
move
year,
on.
you can do the same thing. And then you just
Repeat it.
Repeat
Now, I will say the reality is it's going to be hard to cash flow if
Very.
you do that little bit of down.
mm-hmm.
But maybe in that position you have more money and you can do a principal
principal recast, basically changing your amortization
Mm-hmm.
to lower your payment monthly.
Yeah.
And then something that can meet maybe that rental price that you want to put on it once you rent it out.
Get the PMI out there.
Yeah.
If it's an FHA,
yeah.
you can't, right? But if it's
An
conventional,
FHA,
you
you
can.
can.
Right.
Conventional,
Yeah.
yeah. And I've noticed in this market that there are some lenders that are doing no PMI with 15% down,
Okay, that's good to know.
but it's a conventional. It's not an investment.
They probably raise the rate.
Most likely.
Yeah,
But
they'd have
you can
to.
always buy that rate back down.
I know.
Rates are crazy right now. But, that was one of the things that took us to that investment area
Oh yeah.
in our market
Yeah.
is that the in-house lender for this
Mhm.
builder was providing rates like almost 2% lower than any other lender,
Yeah.
which is, you got to jump when the opportunity.
It's a pretty good deal. They
is
buy the rate
there.
down. That's rare because
They buy the rate down, not you.
Yeah, the lender doesn't, and it doesn't cost you anything. The rate goes down. You don't pay for it. It's
Which
because they
is-
have an in-house lender.
So they're willing to, hold that as their own portfolio until they maybe package it up with enough packaging or enough other loans in it
Mm-hmm.
that they can sell it to maybe another servicer.
Yeah.
That's what my gut tells me is going to happen.
He's probably right.
Yeah.
He's usually right. So I would say, Universe J, I would say that, it's like which pathway is right for you, the local market or there's really not like a right answer because I think it always goes back to like qualifying you in a deeper way. I know you gave us some of your background, which is great, but I think like honestly, either one of those ways could work for you.
Yeah.
If one's more expensive, obviously
Go with the lead. Let's ugh.
it depends on the money. What
It
kind of
depends on the
money
money.
you rocking with, and how you going to replenish it?
Can you replenish
And
it?
do
How
you-
quickly can you replenish
And do
it?
you want to be your own property manager, and why? Even if it's in your local market area, you still wouldn't have to be the property manager, even if that takes the 2 to 3% cash flow that you're getting, because maybe it doesn't really matter. Maybe it's not worth your time. Maybe you could spend that same amount of time working your job in a better way, focusing on your job and making way more money
Or just getting a
than the
different
2
job?
to 3%. Or maybe there's a side gig that would interest you more. Sometimes people think
Ooh.
they have to do the property
Yeah.
management to save money, but I always push back and it's like,
No,
but-
I think
but
you'll save. You'll
unless
save
it's
time. Time is money.
unless it's a business you want to learn, and if it really is, go for it. But if it's really not, there's other ways to make money. I think, you know what, Ian, that's a shift in thinking like a consumer to thinking like an investor. Consumers always think, what
need
can I
a
save?
job.
What can I save? What can I
What can I
save?
save from my 9 to 5?
Yeah, because they get a paycheck and
Mhm.
it's fixed usually. Investors don't think like that. Investors think like, how do I maximize my potential gain, okay, in a direct or indirect way? And if there's a potential expense as a property manager, but it's work they don't want to do and that won't add value to them, then the shift is, okay, I'm going to export this role and responsibility, and I'm going to go find a way to use my time, treasure, and talent.
To make more money.
Exactly. And then the return would actually be way more. It wouldn't be 2 to 3% saved on property management,
It'd be
it would be an X
8
factor.
to 9% gained.
Yeah,
potentially.
it could be like, for example, if you're in a sales industry like you and I are,
Sky's the limit.
sky's the limit.
As long as you're willing to put in the work,
Yeah.
you'll get what you put in.
Right.
Get out what you put in,
In a business that we could automate and scale in a way, because our focus is in that one arena versus our focus is scattered over 10 different businesses.
Mm-hmm.
It's overwhelming, and you lose interest and you get burnt out, and all those things are like real live actual things that happen to normal people. So I would go deeper with you on this, Universe J, and understand like all those elements of like, what are your ultimate goals? What's the goals outside of this one property? What do you see your future as?
Yeah, you got to know, not the end game, because nobody knows what.
Nobody knows the end game.
But you're gonna have to have, just not one goal that's in front of you. You got to see a bigger picture.
Yeah. What's the vision?
And he's got a little bit of insight. I say.
think so too.
Kind of noticing
seems
that.
like he does.
I mean, it's very.
But if he seems like he does, Ian, why does he say he has analysis paralysis so bad that it's so crippling?
Because it's really hard sometimes for people to make that first jump.
Yeah.
Right. It's hard to save up all that money. It's almost like you have this connection to it, right? Where if you lose it, then it's like part of you is leaving. It's like buyer's remorse.
I get that.
You spend so much of your blood, sweat, and tears, building up bank accounts so you can do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you're saving up all this money and you're young or you're in a good place to maybe invest, I mean, you can always try it.
Yeah.
You don't have to go through with it if it's something that scares you. But, I would just be scared.
Yeah.
Get out of your comfort zone.
I like that.
Be willing to push yourself further than you've been before. If you are not happy where you are, right, and you're like, hey, I do have it in me to be an investor, make that first step. Just get that first house and just learn from it, and then just slowly learn from your mistakes, fall forward, add more, and just, keep it going. Get a rhythm.
Yeah.
Prime
the pump.
Prime the pump.
Prime the pump. Yeah.
And just, build yourself a future that you're going to enjoy.
Ooh. Market that. T-shirt. Build a future you're going to enjoy. Imagine that life. That's a pretty cool vision.
Envision, manifestation.
Yeah.
I mean, get that vision board out and say, like, I want to have 4 houses by the end of this 10-year cycle of 2025 to 2036 or 2035.
That's good.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know.
You okay, Bubba?
Yeah. Cypress,
He's
the
all right.
other one.
Yeah. I was honestly, one of these analysis paralysis people, right? Until finally we were just like, yeah, let's buy a house. We had a house. We were living fine. But it wasn't the future that we envisioned, just holding on to this one house. It was, there's got to be more. And like her family, my family too had a rental. Like we had one rental, but they sold it. My wife's family, she's got a lot of rentals on that side. And it was just like, I had a conversation with my mother-in-law. First time that I think we've said more than a few sentences. It's just, she's just not very talkative. She's very quiet. But we had a big conversation about how, when she had some money saved up, she had a friend, right? She didn't know what to do with it. She didn't know how to she had a friend, and her friend goes, buy this house. And she's like, okay. And the friend goes, buy this other house. Just keep on buying these properties. And now she's, she was just saying like, well, she knew it was a smart play. She knew that person that was the realtor who was telling her to buy these houses was successful. And she's like, yeah, okay. I got the money to do it. I don't know how risk adverse she was, but apparently not that risk adverse if you're, all your money's just going into this house because your friend, who's also a realtor, told you to buy it. But now she's, very successful. 6 properties.
She was working as a 7-Eleven clerk.
7-Eleven clerk,
Yeah.
right? But full time, and she also did own a nail salon for a little bit.
Okay.
But that was just too much work.
Yeah.
And she's decided to go back to being a